Sorry, Matt. Yep, go.
Test 1, 2. Thank everybody for coming. We got a little over 100 riding horses and quite a few loose horses after that. Have another one here next month. Second Wednesday. Goat sale Saturday. Don't forget about the cattle sale every Tuesday. On these horses, there is no guarantees, so pay real close attention to this. When you get one home and he bucks you off, or he limps, or he's one-eyed, he still belongs to you. The horse been back there all day. You had time to go talk to the people that own them, all that. There is no guarantees. When he goes out that door right there, you go in there and pay for him, take him home with you, for better or worse, as is.
Nope.
We ain't got no. We ain't got nothing.
Is the video playing? Okay.
Video's playing of that black mare.
Well, it's only hooked to this TV, so.
You tell me when you see a number up there.
You got a blue screen now with all your stuff. It ain't black. No.
Whoever was talking to him that he just yelled at.
Yeah. What? That's real good.
No, that's right.
Horses got these cattle are fresh. They've never been roped. Selling so much a piece and 2 times the money. See? Both heifers right there. 800, 900, hit a little 800 down, 900, little 800 now, half, hit a little 800 now, half, now 9, hit a little 900, number of 9, 850, now 9, number of 900, number of 900, no, you didn't make it. I'm way up there. 850, 900, hit a little, come on here, hit 9, hit a little now, half, hit a little 900 now, half, $1,000, number of $1,000 here, hit 9 and half, $1,000 now, half, hit a little 10 and half, now 11, half, hit a little 11 half, 11 half, quarter. They're fresh and they're all right. Had all their shots, had everything done, guys. 11 a quarter, 11 and a half, 11 and a half, and now 75, 11, 75, 11, 75, 11, 75, here, I'm going to bump it now 75, I have 1150 times 2, and that's 109, 107, 107. There's 5 of these donkeys, guys. There's both boys and girls. This will be a little jack. $300, 3 and a half. Good 3, 3 and a half. Hit a little bit, 3 now 3 and a half. Hit a little bit, 3 and a half. And now 4. I'm going to bump over a bit, a little bit, 3, but now 4 a bit. I'm going to bump 4. I'm 354. I'm going to bump over a bit, a little bit, now 4 a bit, a little bit, 3, but now 4 a bit. I'm going to bump over a bit, now half. Hit 4 and a half. Hit a little bit, 4 a bit, now half. Here now 5. Hit a little bit, 5 and a bit. I'm going to bump 5. Hit 4 and a half, 5. Hit a little bit, 5 and a bit, a little bit, 4 and a half. Now 5 and a bit. I'm going to bump 5 and a bit, a little bit, 4 and a half, 5. So the 450. 23 on 1, 23 on 1. Another jack. $300 half, hit 3.5, hit it to the 3 to the bid now, half, hit it to the 3 to the bid now, 3.5, 4, I'm gonna bump over the bid to the 3.5, now over the bid to the bid now, over the bid 75, hit it to the bid to 75, I'm 350, 75, hit it to the now 4, I'm gonna bump over the bid to the 75, now over the bid, I'm gonna bump over the bid, I'm gonna bump 4, I'm 375 and 4 and over the bid, I'm gonna bump 4, so do 375, 23 on 1. Hit number 3. Same deal, hit it to the $300, 3.5, hit 3, 3.5, hit it to the 3 to the bid now, 3.5, hit it to the 3 to the now, half, hit it to the 3 to the bid now, 3.5, hit it to the 3 to the now, half, hit quarter, hit it to the 3 to the bid now, put it now, half, hit it to the 3.5, hit it to the 3 and quarter now, 3.5, I'm 3 and quarter, 3.5, hit it to the 3 and quarter now, half, here, half, so it's 3 and quarter, 23 on 1. Little Jenny's and CSL hit number 4. $400, 4.5, hit 4, 4.5, hit it Jenny, hit it to the 4.5, 5, hit it to the 5, hit it to the 4.5, now 5 to the bid, I'm gonna bump 5, I'm 4.5, 5, hit it to the 5, hit it to the 4, hit it now 5 to the bid, hit it to the now 5 to the bid, I'm gonna bump 4, hit it now 5 to the bid, I'm gonna bump 5 to the bid, I have 455, sold it 450, put it on 428. Now sell the little Jenny right there. $400, 4.5, hit 4 to the bid. It's a jack. $300, 3.5, hit 3, 3.5, selling the little one. I'm gonna bump 3 to the bid now, 3.5, 4. I'm gonna bump over the bid to the 3, but now 4 to the bid. I'm gonna bump 4. I'm 354, 75, hit it to the bid, 75, hit it to the bid, 75, hit it to the 3, but 75, hit it to the bid, 75. I'm 350, 75, hit it to the bid, 75. Here I have 350, 424. Hold on. Did you have them, Jonah? Jonah had them. I had him. I got how much? I got 350 here. You got to be 400. Now half, just between you two. He had them, and I had you. 400 half, quarter. I'll do that. Now half, 4.5. Now 75. Sold them 450. Way up high. Put them on 398. Thank you both. Sorry about that. You guys will be red done. Folded 2016. Out of Morris Coco, out of Good Brothers 9003. Out of Buck's Butt, out of the Jet's Best Grace, out of Mr. Louisiana Jet, out of Flamin' Jet. Hip number 6. He's still all boy, guys. They've been breeding mares to him the last 6 years. And a pretty good done horse right there. Come on here. 8.5, 9.5, hit 9.5, hit it at 8, now 9.5, hit it at 9.5, hit it at 8, now 9.5, hit it about 8, 900, hit 900, hit it at 8, and now 9, hit it at 8, and number about 9, and 16, bottle, but about it, and now by 8, and now 9, hit 50. He said when he said they've kept fillies back out of him, guys. That's why he's here. Said they did ride him when he was a 2-year-old. 850, 900, hit it at leave, hit it down, 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 850, 75, hit it at leave, hit it down, 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 75, I have 850, 75, sold him 850, put him on 4, yard him out. Hit number 7, super cute buckskin pony gilding, 5 years old, well broke to ride with a good neck rein. Down, but the boys here. Said that young one's rode him all day. Come on, $3,000 for him. $1,000, 12.5. Hit $1,000 now, 12.5. Hit it at the $1,000 now, 12.5. Hit it at the $1,000 now, 12.5. Hit it at the $1,000 now, 1,500. Hit it at the $12.5, 1,500. Hit 1,500. Hit it at the $12.5. Hit it at the 1,500. Hit it at the $1,800. 13.5. You want to get here? Hit, yes, sir. 13 and a half, 12 and a half, 13 and a half, 13 and a half, 14 and a half, 14 and a half, 14 and a half, 14 and a half, now 15 and a half, now 16 and a half, now 17 and a half, 17 and a half, Jody, you're out now, 18 and a half, 18 and a half, 18 and a half, 17 and a half, now 18 and a half, 18 and a half, and now 19 and a half, 19 and a half, 19 and a half, 18 and a half, now 19 and a half, and now 2,000 and a half, 2,000 and a half, 2,000 and a half, now 1, 21 though, 1, you're out, Bo. 21, 21, 2,001, now 2, internet, 22, 22, internet, 22, 2, now 2, now 2, now 2, 22, he to the 1 now 2 to the bit of the now 2 to the bit, now 3. 23, I'm minimum 3 to the bit of the 2 to the bit, now 3 to the bit, I'm minimum 22, now 3 to the bit, I'm minimum 3 to the bit of the 2 to the bit, now 3 to the bit, I sold him on the internet, 2,200.
You got him. 10,011.
Oop, I dropped them. Being 2019 model, guys, and little he's out of Cross Seth, out of Crocs Classy Cowboy, out of Red Mount Blue, and out of the Cowboys and Cowgirls, out of Crocs Frosty Cowboy. Guys, 19 models, coming 7 years old. Boy, you talking about a big, pretty gray horse. He's had 30 days in the yards on him. No hump, no buck. Sound around, boy, they're a pretty gray horse right there, about 6,500. 6,000, now 2.5. It's 6,000, now 2.5. Hit it at the 6,000, now 2.5. Wow, 5. Hit it at the 65. Hit it at the 2.5. Now 5 at a bit. I'm going to bump 5. I'm 62.5. 5. Hit it at the 65. Hit it at the now 7.5. Hit it at the 67.5. I'm here now 65, 7.5. Hit it at the I'm going to bump 7.5. I'm right down here 65, 67.5. Hit it at the 7.5. I'm 65 now 7.5. Young sound. Now 7.5, and now 7, Cecil, you're out 7,000, now 2.5, and 72.5, and now 5, C, 75, it's 73, 4, I'm 74, I'm gonna bump over the big young man, you're out over here, 74, and now 5, Cecil, I'm gonna now 6, it's 76, I'm gonna bump out now 7, and now 8, and 78, and now 9, and now 8,000, $8,000, 8,000, 79, forgot about you either, 8,000, it's 79 now, 8, now 1, 81, now 2, 82, now 2, 82, 82, come on, he's your king, now 3, now 4, I'm about 84, I'm 83, now 4, 84, I'm about 83, now 4, I'm about 4, now 5, 85, 6, 86, 86, young man, you want back in, 86, 85, now 6, now 7 seats, 87, I'm 86, now 7, 87. Nice horse, 86, 87, 86, now 7, 87, I'm 8,600, now 700 here, now 700, but about 86, now 700, but about 7, and now he hit it at 88, hit it at 87, he's weakening, 88, 88, now 9, now 9,000, hit it at $9,000 here, hit $9,000, hit it at 9.
Older guys that I got a lot of respect for in the horse business. Every one of them bid on him around here. That's pretty good pony.
There's a nice horse, 89, now 9,000, 9,000, 89, now 9, hit $9,000, hit $9,999, 91, new fire now, 91, about 91, hit 91, about 91, about 1, 91, sold him 9,406.
This little thing is so cute.
Yep, number 9. This is Harry. He's 10 years old, miniature gelding donkey, guys. He's always been a farm pet, super gentle, loves attention. He will follow you anywhere. That's Harry. $400, $500. Hip 4, 5, better than a 400 now, 500 now, 600 now, minimum 500 now, 600 now, minimum 500 now, half. Hip 5, 5 and a half, 500 now, 5 and a half now, 600 now, minimum 600 now, half, 6 and a half, and now 7 now, half. You're out back here, 7 and a half, 7 and a half now, 8, 7 and a half now, 8. Hip 7 high now, 8 to the bed, I'm in the bum, 8 to the bed, 7 high now, 8 to the bed, I'm in the bum, 8 to the bed, 7 high now, 8 to the bed, I'm in the bum, 800. So be 750, 23 on 1, on 2, 23 on 2. Hip number 10. This would be Tommy now. Hip number 10. What about old Tommy?
And I traded for him just the other day. I rode him 3 or 4 times. And he tacks up good, gentle, good to catch, will not bump.
So this horse tacks up good and gentle, guys. Ain't got no hump or buck in him. He is registered in the Marine Quarter Horse Association for the 2017. He's out of TJ Red Moon, out of Plenty of Blueberry, out of Plenty of Try. Out of MS Hollywood Badger, out of Done It With Cash, out of Done It Rawhide, guys, and he's a 17 model.
Whoa!
$4,000, $4,500. Hip $4,000 now, 5. $4,000 now, 5. $45. $4,000 now, 2 and a half. $42 and a half. I'm $4,000 now, 2 and a half. $42 and a half. $4,000 now, 2 and a half. 1, 2. Hit 41 now, 2 to the bit of the 1 to the bit now, 2 to the bit of the all to the bit now, 2 to the bit of the 41 now, 2. I'm 41, 2. Hit to the 2 to the bit of the all to the bit now, 2 to the bit of the 41 now, 2 to the bit of the 2 to the bit of the 2. Hit 41 now, 2 to the bit of the all to the bit now, 2 to the 41 now, 2 to the 2 to the bit of the 2. Hit 41, 2. Hit to the 2 to the bit of the all to the bit now, 2 to the bit of the 41 now, 2 to the bit of the 2 to the bit of the 2. 41, 2. Hit to the 2 to the bit of the all to the bit now, 2 to the bit of the 41 now, 2 to the bit a half. So be 4,100. You got a number, Dave? No, I had Dave. Do you have AW? I got 41, 42, 43. Dave, but this you too. 42, 3. Yep, 42 now, 3 to the bed, 2 to the bed, 3. So be 4,200. Put him on AW.
303.
303 is your number, AW. 303.
You poured me a little bit of water in there, man. I've been trying, but I ain't had time.
It looks hot.
It is hot.
Oh, that good? I don't want it to spill.
Tip number 12. He got 2024. Is he still all boy? He is a Gilded 2024 model, guys. He's out of Metallic Aviator, out of Metallic Cat, out of Highbrow Cat, and out of a Crow Draven, out of Playlight, out of Gray Starlight, guys. He's a Highbrow Cat, dual rate, Gray Starlight, smart little Romeo. There's a royal bred young man coming 2 years old in May. He was born and raised right there on their place. Said he's never been nowhere. 1,500, 17 and a half, hit it now 2, hit it 17 and a half now, $2,000, hit it 17 and a half now 2, hit 17 and a half now 2, hit it $2,000, hit it 17 and a half, 18 and a half, and now 2 and a half, hit it $2,000 now 2 and a half, hit it $2,000 now 2 and a half, I'm $2,000 now 2 and a half, hit it about 2 and a half, hit it $2,000 now 2 and a half, 1, 2, hit 22 and a half, 21 now 2 to the bit, I'm about 2 to the bit of the 1 to the bit now 2 to the bit of the 21 now 2 now 3, hit 23, hit it 3 to the bit. You're out 23. Hit to the 2 to the bit now 3. Hit 23. Hit to the bit about 2 to the bit now 3 to the bit of the 23 now 3. He's by a son of Metallic Cat 22 3. And now 4, I'm at about 24, and then hit to the 4 to the bit, I'm at about 4 to the bit, I'm at about now 5, hit to the now 6, hit to the 26, hit 26, internet, hit to the 5 to the bit now 6, hit to the 26, hit to the 5 to the bit now 6 to the bit, hit 26, hit to the 5 to the bit now 6 to the bit, 25 now 6 to the bit, I'm at about 25 now 6, I'm 2,600 here, hit to the 5 to the bit now 6 to the bit, 5 to the bit now 6 to the bit, I'm at about 6, now 7, did you hit to the 7, half, and now 7, 27, I'm about to get now 7 to the half, 26 and a half, 7, so be 26 and a half, 450.
This next one's video's playing. Oh, never mind.
Yep, number 11. This is, what about old Jeff? He's 8 years old. Been using the mountains in Colorado to trail ride on, guys. 100% sound, safe. Nice, kind of a big gray horse right there now. 2,500, 27 and a half, hit it half, and now 7 and a half, hit it 25 and now 7 and a half, hit now 3, hit it 7 and a half, now 3 times, hit it 27 and a half, 3, hit 27 and a half, 3, hit it 3 times, hit it 27 and a half, now 3 times, hit it 3, I'm 27 and a half, 3, hit it 3 times, hit it 27 and a half, now 3, hit it 3,000, hit 27 and a half, 3, hit it 7 and a half, now 3 times, hit it 7 and a half, now 8 and a half, I'm 28 and a half, hit it 7 and a half, now 8 and a half, hit it 7 and a half, now 8 and a half, hit it 28 and a half, hit 28 and a half, hit it 7 and a half, now 8 and a half, hit it 27 and a half, now 8 and a half, hit it 28 and a half, hit it 7 and a half, now 8 and a half, I'm 28 and a half, 27 and a half, 8 and a half, hit it 28 and a half, I have sold him 27 and a half, put him on 409. That was right, wasn't it? 409.
Whoops, I'm sorry, Ed. Good thing that wasn't your coffee. This one's video's playing.
This one's video is up and playing now. Katie is handy broke 5-year-old 14-3 hand-toe mare that's seen a lot in her young age. She's doctored a lot outside, been extensively used in the pens, and she made her debut at the ranch rodeos. We think a big-time mare given the chance, guys, that sells 100% sound, pretty mare with lots of roan hairs and 4 stocking legs. 22 and a half, 5, hit 25, hit it 2 and a half, now 5, hit it 25, hit it 2 and a half, now 5, hit it 2 and a half, hit it 5, now 7 and a half, 27 and a half, internet, you didn't make it, 27 and a half, and now 3, hit it 3 times, hit it 7 and a half, now 3 times, hit it 7 and a half, 3, hit there's a cute little mare, 27 and a half, 3,000, hit it 3 times, hit it 8 and a half, hit it 28, 9 and a half, 8 and a half, 9 and a half, I'm straight out front, 28 and a half, 9 and a half, I'm the Skeeter, 28 and a half, 9 and a half, 29 and a half, 9 and a half, I'm right down front, 9 now, 3,000 and a half, now 2 and a half, hit 31 and a half, now 2 and a half, internet, you're out, 32 and a half, hit 31 and a half, 2 and a half, hit 31 and a half, now 2 and a half, now 3, I'm 33, I'm 2 now 3, I'm 33, I'm 2 now 3, I'm 2 now 3, now 3, hit 33, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, I'm about 3, now 3, now 4, I'm 34, internet, 33, now 4 to bed, Bobby's way, right out there, 33, now 4, and now 5, 35, now 6, internet, 36, hit 36, 36, internet, we're out, 36, now 7, hit 37, I'm thinking of the bed, now 7, I'm thinking of the bed, now 7, I'm 37, I'm thinking of the bed, now 7, I have 37, 6, 7, I have. Sold it on the net, 3,600.
Jerky, you got him. 10,013. Oh, this one's video will be up too.
Yep, number 14. 9-year-old Greg Gilden, guy stands 15-2 hands tall. He's done all aspects of ranch work, working in the feed yards, pasture roping, and started in the team roping. He's been a handful of round robins and practices. Gives it all every time, guys. He listed as a team roping prospect. Wouldn't take much to get him seasoned.
Watch that video. That horse goes pretty good. That's what came here early this afternoon. Running all day out there. He's broke your ass. I'll give you 42 and a half.
42 and a half, 5. Hit 45, 2 and a half, now 5, 2 and a half, now 5, but I'm 45, 42 and a half, now 5, but I'm 5. I'm 42 and a half, 5, 2 and a half, now 5, but I'm 3 and a half, 4 and a half. I'm 43 and a half, 4 and a half, 44 and a half, 4 and a half, now 5 and a half. Hit 45 and a half, but I'm 5 and a half, 44 and a half, now 5 and a half, 44 now 5 and a half, and now 6 and a half, now 7 and a half, 47 and a half, 8 and a half, 48 and a half, 9 and a half, now 5,000 and a half, If 5,500, 5,500, 5,500, if 5,500, 49 and a half, 5,500, 5,500, 49 and a half, now 5,500, if 5,500, now 2.5, 50, 2.5, 50, 2.5, if 5,500, 51 and a half, 5,500, now 1.5, 51 and a half, if 51 and a half, 5,500, 1.5, 5,500, now 1.5, if 51 and a half, 5,500, 1.5, 5,500, 1.5, 51 and a half, 5,500, now 1.5, 51 and a half, half, 41 back in, 51 and a half, 5,500, 51 and a half, 5,500, now 1.5, I have 5,000, I have 1.5, sold it, 5,050, 200, your buyer. Thank you.
When I get home, I'm blowing the station up at Rockville. They give me a couple of wintergreen tobacco, and I don't know what.
He got 9-year-old grade gilding, guys, stands 14.2, hand finished rope horse. Was used on the pro circuit by his previous owners and healed on extensively. Currently on all shots, teeth, and feet.
She said this horse is good to shoe. Really broke, and they roped on him because I checked
So this
him
horse
in.
will be really good to be around too. 22 and a half pipe. 23 and a half, 4 and a half. Yep, 24 and a half, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, 4 and a half, now 5 and a half, now 6 and a half, now 7 and a half, 27 and a half, 6 and a half, now 7 and a half, 8 and a half, down 9 and a half. Yep, 29 and a half, 9 and a half, 8 and a half, now 9 and a half, 8 now 9 and a half. I'm 29 and a half, 8 and a half, 9 and a half, 29 and a half, now 3,000 and a half, and now 1 and a half. Yep, 3,000 and a half, 1 and a half, 2 and a half, 32 and a half, half, now 3 and a half, 33 and a half. Yep, 3 and a half. Now 3 and a half, 33 and a half, 2 and a half, now 3 and a half, 32 and a half, 3 and a half, now 4 and a half, 34 and a half. You're all out. I got a new man. You're out too, Jonah. 33 and a half, 4 and a half, 34 and a half, 33 and a half, now 4 and a half, 33 and a half, now 4 and a half, 34 and a half, 33 and a half, now 4 and a half, 33 and a half. Jeff, you want back in here? 34 and a half. I'm 33 and a half, now 4 and a half, 34 and a half, 33 and a half, now 4 and a half, 34 and a half. I have 34 and a half, you're all out. 34 and a half, I have. So be 33, 50, put him on. 417. 113. 18's the one to get, guys. This is Bud. He's a 9-year-old Gildan, stands 15 hands, been used at the feed yard. 100% sound. That'll be Bud. 22 and a half pipe. 25. 22 and a half now. 22 and a half now. 22 and a half now. 25. 22 and a half pipe. 3 and a half. 23 and a half. I'm 22 and a half. 3 and a half. 23 and a half. 2 and a half now. 3 and a half. 23 and a half. I'm 22 and a half. 3 and a half. 3 and a half. 2 and a half now. 3 and a half. 23 and a half. I'm 22 and a half. 3 and a half. Now 4 and a half. Hit 24 and a half, 3 and a half, now 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 3 and a half, now 4 and a half, 3 and a half, now 4 and a half. I think I got more horse than I got money. 23 and a half, 4 and a half. Hit 24 and a half, 3 and a half, now 4 and a half, 24 and a half, 3 and a half, now 4 and a half, 24 and a half, 3 and a half, now 4 and a half. I have 24 and a half, 3 and a half, 4 and a half. I have. So 23, 50, way up yonder. 449. 115, 115. Yep, number 19.
Maybe 14, 15 years old, been in the feed yard.
Be 14, 15 years old, been in the feed yards, guys. Roped a lot on him outside. Big 30-round horse right here. 2,000, 22.5. Hit $2 down, $2.5 now, 5. Hit a little bit, 25. Hit a little bit, 2.5 now, 5. Hit a bit, 5. Hit a little bit, 2.5, 5. Hit 22.5, 5. Hit a little bit, 5. Hit a little bit, 22.5 now, 5. Hit a little bit, 3.5. Hit 23.5. Hit a little bit, 2.5 now, 3.5. Hit a little bit, 2.5 now, 3.5. Hit a little bit, 23.5. I'm going to. And sound, hit a little bit, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, hit 24.5, hit a little bit, 4.5, hit a little bit, 3.5, now 4.5, hit a little bit, 3.5, now 4.5. I'm 24.5, hit a little bit, 3.5, now 4.5, hit a little bit, 24.5, hit a little bit, 4.5, hit 23.5, now 4.5, hit a little bit, 4.5, hit a little bit, 3.5, now 4.5, hit a little bit, 4.5. I'm 23.5, 4.5, hit a little bit, 3.5, now 4.5, hit a little bit, 23.5, now 4.5. I have 14 years old, 23.5, 4.5, hit a little bit, 24.5, hit 23.5, 4.5, hit a little bit, 24.5, hit a little bit, 3.5, 4.5, sold it 23.5.
Skeeter.
301, 301. We hit number 17. It's a Hawks time. 16-year-old Bay Gillen stands 15 heads. Set the papers. Got the heck. We got the papers back yet, guys? So your binding's ready today. 2,000, 22.5. Hit $2,000 now, 2.5. Hit a little bit, 2,001, 2. Hit a little bit, 21. Now you didn't make it, Johnny. You got to be 2. Hit it now, 3. I'm about 23 now, 4 a bit now, 4 a bit now, 5 a bit, 6 a bit now, 7 now, 8. Hit a little bit, 28. And 9. Hit a little bit, 29. Hit a little bit now, 9 a bit now, 3. Hit a little bit, 3 a bit now, about 1 now, 2. Hit a little now, 3. Hit now, 4. Hit 34 now, 5 and now 6. And a little bit, 36. And a little bit, 5 a bit now, 6. A little bit, I'm about 6. I'm 35, 6 now, 7. And a little now, 8. Hit a little bit now, 9. Now 4,000. And a little bit now, 1. 2. Hit a little bit, 40. Hit a little 1. A little bit now, 2. A little bit, 41 now, 2. Been used now, 41, 2. Yep, 42, 2, 2, 2, 2, a little bit, 2, a little bit, I'm going to 1, a little bit now, 2, a little bit now, 32, 42, now 3, hit a little bit, 3, a little bit now, 4. Yep, 44, I'm going to bump, hold a little bit, 3, a little bit now, hold a little bit, 44, I'm going to bump 3, a little bit now, hold a little bit, I'm going to bump, hold a little bit, 8. So be 4,300, 600 on 1.
It's playing.
Yep, number 20, guys, be a 5-year-old gorgeous black mare. Has worked in the feed yard and team room. Very good-minded and affectionate mare. Soft in her mouth, healthy and sound. Cute little 5-year-old black mare. There should be some good roping videos to watch. You say 4,000, 42.5. $4,000 now, 2.5. Hit a little bit, $4,000 now, 2.5. I'm $4,000 now, 2.5. Hit a little bit, 42.5. Hit a little bit, $4,000 now, 2.5. Hit a little bit, 42.5. Hit a little bit, $4,000 now, 2.5. Hit 42.5. Hit a little bit, $4,000 now, 2.5. Hit a little bit, $4,000 now, 2.5. Hit a little bit, 42.5. I'm $4,000 now, 2.5. Hit a little bit, 42.5. Hit a little bit, $4,000 now, 2.5. I'm 1. Hit 41. Hit a little bit, $4,000 now, 1. Hit a little bit, $4,000 now, 1. Hit a little bit, 41. I'm 41. And a little bit, 1, a bit, a little bit, 1, a bit, a little bit, 4, then a little bit, 1, a bit, I'm gonna go on, a bit, a little bit, 41. Hit 41, and a little bit, 4, then a little bit, 1, a bit, a little bit, 1, a bit, a little bit, 4, then a little bit, about 1, a bit, a little bit, 41. You watch that young man ride that mare, every time he asks her it, she don't think about it. It's automatic, guys. There's a nice mare. Hit 41, hit a little bit, 1, a bit, a little bit, 4, then a little now, 1, a bit, a little bit, 41, hit a little bit, 4, then a little bit, about 1, a bit, a little bit, 41, hit a little bit, 4, then a little bit, about 1, a bit, a little bit, 41. I'm 4, then a little now, 1, a bit, a little bit, 4, then a little now, 1, a bit, a little bit, 4, then a little bit, about 1, a bit, about 1, a bit, I have 41, hit a little bit, 1, a bit, I have sold her 4,000. What's he want for us? Said it takes 5,500. You need to talk to him, guys.
Sorry.
He'll need to get off.
Ugh.
Yep, number 21.
I wasn't going to bother you.
Oh my. Listen here. Folded June 30th of 2020. Out of Homer Smart Chick, out of Scoot Lindbar, out of Smart Chickalina, and out of a Magic First and Gold, out of Future Magic, out of Future Jack 2020 model, guys.
He was rode up there in Nebraska at a feed yard. The man that
They
had
used him up there in Nebraska to feed your guys.
And the man that had him had cancer and passed away. And so they set him down to me to sell for him. He probably needs a little ride yet, but he's gentle. There's no buck in him. And he'll be a really nice horse.
Gordon said he'll be gentle. There ain't no home for buck in him, guys. Said the man that had him up there passed away, and they sent him with Gordon to sell him for the family, guys. 3,000, 32 and a half. 3,000 down, 2 and a half. I'm 3,000 down, 2 and a half.
Catch him anywhere.
And you'll catch him anywhere. 3,000 down, 2 and a half. 3,000 down, 2 and a half. 3,000 down, 2 and a half. Now 5. 35. 2 and a half. 5. I'm 32 and a half. 35. 2 and a half. Now 5. 35. 32 and a half. Now 5. 32 and a half. 3 and a half. Said you ain't going to blow him up either. 32 and a half, 3 and a half. Hit 32 and a half, now 3 and a half. 3 and a half, 2 and a half. 2 and a half, 3 and a half. 33 and a half, 2 and a half, now 3 and a half. Now 4 and a half. 34 and a half. 3 and a half, now 4 and a half. Hit 34 and a half. 3 and a half, now 4 and a half. 33 and a half, now 4 and a half. 4 and a half. I'm 33 and a half, now 4 and a half. 34 and a half. 3 and a half, now 4 and a half. 34 and a half. I'm 33 and a half, now 4 and a half. 34 now 5, now 6, 36. I'm 35, 6, now 35, now 36. Hit 35, now 6, 35, now 6, 35, now 6, 36. 100% sound, 35, 6, you want to try him again, 35, now 6, now 6, I have sold him 3,500, 417.
$113.
Yeah, boys, 22s
This
on
one
to
has a
get.
video.
Smooth mouth, thoroughbred gelding, ridden English and Western, very gentle, family type horse. Got watch the video right here. 4 of these horses come all together. You say $1,000, 12 and a half. $8,000 now, 12 and a half. Tommy, you can't stand there. $8,000 now, 12 and a half. $8,000, 1,100. $11,000 now, 1,100. $8,000 now, 1,100 here. In that 1,100. Half now, 11, 10 and a half now, 11, 10 and a half now, 11 on here. Hit 10 and a half, 1,100. 11 and a half, about 10 and a half now, 11 but about half high. I'm 10 and a half, 1,100. 10 and a half now, 11 but about 11, 10 but now 11 but about half high. 10, 50, 1,100. I have sold it 10, 50, pretty much. 446 on one. 24 would be Rondo, a 12-year-old John Mule. He's been ridden down the trails and through the woods. Has been packed on hunting trips. Good John Mule. Point any direction and he'll go. Solo Rondo. $1,000, 12 and a half. $8,000 now, 12 and a half. $8,000 now, 12 and a half. Said he'll be gentle and all right, guys. $1,000, 12 and a half. It's $10 now, 12 and a half. $10 now, 12 and a half. Here I'm $10 now, 12 and a half. $10 now, 1100. $10 now, 1100. $10 now, 1100. $10 now, I'm $10, 1100. $10 now, 1100. Now 12. $12 now, 1300. It's 1300.
Dylan, you're out
Give me
again.
12 and a half. 12 and a half. 13 and a half. It's 13 and a half. Half. 13 and a half. 13 and a half. It's 13 and a half. 14.
Dylan, you're out. I'm with Danielle.
It's 1400. 14. 13 and a half. 4 now. Half. 14 and a half.
Danielle, you're out.
14 and a half. Danielle, you're out on the net. 14 and a half. It's 14 and a half. 14 and a half. Half. 14 and a now. Half. 14 and a now. Half. Sold him 1400.
Big Daddy Dill, you got him. 10,020.
Was that cheeseburger?
Yes.
Ooh, cheeseburger is in the building.
Coming to the mule sale.
Yep, number 25. Sell that coat right there. Yearling, Philly, and Halterbrook right there. 250, 300, 250 now, 3, 250 now, 3. I'm 250 now, 3, 250 now, 3, 250 now, 3, I'm 250 now, 3. I'm 253, 250 now, 3, I'm 250 now, 3, I'm 3. I'm 23 now, half, 3 and a half, 3 now, half, 3 now, half, quarter, half, 3 and a half, 3 and a half, did you, now, 75, 75, and now 4, hold a bit now, quarter, hold a bit now, 4 and a quarter, hold a bit now, 4 and a quarter, hold a bit now, 4 and a quarter, I have 400, was that 409?
Okay, I just wanted to double check.
Hey, boys, this is Punchy. He will be handy broke and well-behaved little gray horse right there. That's only 7 years old. Punchy will be a great on the trails, no matter the terrain, and we think would make a great youth performance horse. He is ready to go on any direction and wish to take him. You bet. 22 and a half pipe. 25 bit of the day to the high now, 5 bit of the day, 25 bit of the day to the high now, 5 bit of the day, 25 bit of the day to the high now, 5. I'm 22 and a half, 5 bit of the day, 5 bit of the day to the high now, 5 bit, 3 and a half, bit of the day, 23 and a half, 4 and a half, 24 and a half, bit of the day, 3 and a half now, 5 and a half, bit of the day, 5 and a half, bit of the day, 4 and a half now, 5 and a half, bit of the day, 5 and a half, 25 and a half, bit of the day. So you can walk out in the wheat field with 100 head of horses and catch him.
Here comes Jake opening up at the halter around here. So that's a gentle little horse, just needs a chance.
Said he'd be a good little horse right there. 24 and a half, 5 and a half. You're out, long, tall stranger. 4 and a half, 5 and a half. 25 and a half, 4 and a half now, 5 and a half. 24 and a half now, 5 and a half. 25 and a half. 25 and a half, 4 and a half now, 5 and a half. You want to get 2,500 now, half. 25, 5 and a half. $2,500, 5 and a half, 25 and a half, 25 now, 5 and a half, now 6, 26, and now half, half, 7, now half, 7 and a half, 7 now half, 2,700, 7 and a half, 7 now 7 and a half, 27 and now half, now 8, 28, now half, 8 and a half, 28, 8 and a half, now 8 and a half, I'm 28, 8 and a half, sir, 28 and a half, I have. So be 2,800 pretty much. $438. Hey guys, pay attention here now. 2024 model filly. She's out of Taylor Blue Coyote, out of Royal Blue Coyote, out of Pep the Boone Small, and out of the Do red cat, out of sophisticated cat, out of highbrow cat. Boy, you talking about royal bred, be 2 years old in April. And she's also a 2-eyed red buck on the bottom. Fancy filly right here, about 5,000 for her. $2,000, 22.5. We get $2,000 now, 2.5. $2,000 now to it. She's had 30 days with the trainer and been saddled, guys. $2,000 now, 2.5. Hit 22.5. $2,000 now, 2.5. $2,000 now, 2.5. I'm $2,000 now, 2.5. $22.5. $2,000 now, 2.5. $22.5. I'm $2,000 now, 2.5. $2,000 now, 5. $25. $2.5. I'm 22.5. 25. Now 7.5. $27.5. $27.5. Now 3. The internet's all out. 27.5. 3,000. 3,000. Hit 27.5. 3. Now 2.5. 32.5. Hit 3,000 now 2.5. And now 5. 35. Internet 32.5. 5. Hit 35. Internet 32.5. Now 5 to the bid. Now 5 to the bid. Now 5 to the bid. Now 7.5. I'm 37.5. 35. Now 7.5. 5 to the bid. Now 7.5. Hit 37.5. Now 4. Internet 37.5. Now 4. Hit $4,000. $37.5 now. $4,000. Hit 37.5 now. 4. I'm going to bump over the bid. Hit $4,000. I'll take 38.5. Internet. We're going to go 37.5. 8.5. Hit there now 9.5. 39.5. Now 9.5. Now 4,000.5. 4,000.5. Hit 4,000.5. 39.5. Now 4,000.5. 4,000.5. 9.5. Now 4,000.5. Hit 4,000.5. 39.5. Now 4,000.5. Now 1.5. 41.5. Hit 41.5. 41.5. 4,000.5. 1.5. 41.5. I'm 4,000.5. 1.5. 41.5. 4,000.5. 1.5. Sold her on the internet. 4,050.
10,019. Oh, okay.
Internet, it takes 4,500 if you want her.
I'm gonna take your bid out, and you have 10
I got
seconds
the
to click in.
4,050 if you want to sell it. I'm on the internet, guy.
Sean, you have 10 seconds to click in if you want this filly for 4,200. PO. Oh,
Yes,
yep.
Yep, 4,200 on the net.
10,019.
Appreciate it.
Do I just keep a hold of these?
Yes, put them on the
Write your tag number on there so you know which one it is.
It's on there.
Okay.
15, 16 years old.
15 or 16 years old. So they've used him in the yard. You can back him in the box. You can rope both ends off of him, guys. And there's a pretty good done horse right there. And sound. 2,500, 27.5. Hit 2,500 now, 7.5. 25 now, 7.5. 27.5. 25 now, 7.5. Hit 27.5. 25 now, 7.5. 25 now, 7.5. 27.5. I'm 25.6. 26. Broke horse right there. 2,500 now, 600. 25 now, 600 here. I'm 26. I'm gone. 25 now, 600. There's one that ain't very high. 25. See, hit 2,600 here. Hit 25 now, 600. 25 now, 600. 26. Hit 25 now, 600. Hit 25 now, 600. I'm going to bump out of the bed. I'm going to bump out of the bed now, 600. I have sold him 2,500. Who'd you have, Jonah? 301, 301. Hip number 29, guys, right here. Gordy, 7 or 8 years old. Said he'll be gentle, bro. Said if you set up there, you can get along with him now, just 7 or 8 years old. $1,000, 12.5. $8,000 now, 12.5. $8,000 now, 12.5. $8,000 now, 12.5. $8,000 now, 12. We're gone. $8,000 now, 1,100. $8,000 now, 1,100. $8,000 now, 1,100. $1,000 now, 1,100. $8,000 now, 1,100. $1,000 now, 1,100. $8,000 now, 1,100. $8,000 now, 1,100. $1,000 now, 1,100. $8,000 now, 1,100. $1,100 here. $1,000, 1,100. There's a little horse right there. It ain't costing very much and young. Said he's got brand new shoes on, and he'll meet you at the gate in the morning. $1,000, 1,100. $8,000 now, 1,100. Hit a little $8,000 now, 11 half now, 11, 11 now, half, and now 12, now half, and 12 and a half, 13. Hit 1,300. Hit a little 12 and a half, hit a little 13, and a little 12 and a half, hit a little 13, and a little 13, and a little 12 and a half, 13, and a little half. So be 12.50.
430. What, Cecil?
438, your buyer. Hit number 30. Sally's an 8-year-old mare guy. She's been used on the ranch and trail ride. Very broken, handy, 100% sound. Stands 14.3. You talking about a pretty mare? There is a pretty mare. 2,022 and a half. Hit 2,000 now, 2 and a half. Hit a little bit, 200 now, 2 and a half. Hit a little bit, 200 now, 2 and a half. Here, 1. And a little bit, 21. I'm gone. There's 2 of these mares. They've been together their whole life. They're both good broke. 2021. Hit 1. Hit a little bit, 200 now, 1 and a bit, a little bit, 200 now, 1 and a bit. Now 2. Hit a little bit, 22, 2, now 3 and a bit, number 3 and a bit, number 3. Now 4, number 4 and a bit. Now 5. Hit a little bit, 25, young man, number 5. Now 6. Hit 26. Hit a little bit, 5 and a bit. Now 6 and a bit, 2600 now 7. Hit 2700. Hit a little bit, 600 now 700. Number 600 now 7. I'm 2600, 700. Hit a little bit, number you will give a little bit, 600 now 7. I'm 2600 now 700. Hit a little bit, 600 now 700. Number 600 now 700. Hit 27. Hit a little bit, 600 now 700. Number 600 now 700. Here I have. Sold her 2,600. Put her on 301.
$31.
Hit number 31. What about this, young man? 14 or 15 years old, been trail road. So they've used him in the sale barn for the last month. He's been rode in big country and been rode in the mountain. Pretty yellow horse right here. Come on here. 1,600, 1,700, I'm gone. 1,600 now, 1,700, 1,600 now, 1,700. I'm 1,600 now, 1,700, 1,700 now, 1,700 now, 18 now, 19, 19, and now 2. About 1,900 now, 2,000, 2. Hit 1,900 now, 2. Half now, 2. Hit 2,000 now, half. You're now 1. Now half. 1 and a half. 1 now 1 and a half, and now 2. Hit 22 now half. Hit 2 and a half. You're out of 5, young man. 22 and a half. Hit 2 now 2 and a half. Hit 22, 2 and a half. Hit 2 now 2 and a half. Hit 22 now 2 and a half. I'm 22, 2 and a half. Hit 22 now 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 2 and a half. Hit 22. Yes, I think we got more horse than money. 22, 2 and a half. Hit 22 now 2 and a half. Hit 22 now 2 and a half. I have sold him 22 on 301. 2,200, 301. Hit 32 guys on the Dougie's. A 14-year-old gelding broke to ride and drive. He will be gentle. Point him in any direction and go. He has been rode and drove through the parade. That'll be Dougie. 6.5, 700. 700. But I'm thinking I had no 700. It's 6.5, 700. 700. But I'm thinking I had no 700. But I'm 700. I'm gone. But I'm thinking I had no 700. It's 700. Now half. 700. 700 now half. Half now 8. And now 800. 800. 700. Now 800. Number 800. Now half. 800 now half. You're all out. 800. 8 and a half. 800 now half.
800 now, half. I'm 800 now, half, hit a little bit now, 8.5, hit a little 800 now, I'm on the net, now 9, hit a little bit now, 8.5 now, 9, hit a net, hit a little 8.5 now, 9 bit now, half, hit a little bit 9.5, hit 9.5, hit a little bit 9 bit now, 9.5, hit a little bit 9 now, 9.5, hit a little bit 9 bit 9.5, hit a little bit 9 now, 9.5, I have. Sold him on the net, 900.
Got him. 10,013.
$33's on to get, guys. Got paper.
109. I don't know. Brand new deal.
2019 guys. Out of CES, Voodoo Frost, out of PC Bronson, out of Sunfrost, out of a TKM Lexi Frost, out of TKM Dakota Frost, out of Bucko Jack, guys, 2019 model. He's a cider wood also. He has been used on all aspects of ranch work, doctored lots of cattle in the winter, in the wheat, and used in the feed yard. Stays gentle with time off and no buck.
I know the man good. He lives 10 miles from my oldest son Bob that raised him. His brand's on him right there. Them papers will belong to him because I know the guy where he came from.
There's a color
There's
correction.
color correction in there. The more
Paperwork's all done, guys.
Checked on him, drug calves on him all fall and all summer there and used.
They used him all summer and fall, guys. Drug calves on him and everything.
Whatever he tells you, be good.
It's all.
That boy rides him all the time.
So that young man right there rides him all the time, guys. Nice horse right here. Come on, 10,000. 6,000, 6,500, hit a little down, 700, 6,500 now, $7,000, hit a little 6,500 now, say 5, and now 5, hit a little 75 now, heat, hit a little $8,000, but about 75 now, heat, hit a little $8,000, hit a little 75 now, 7.5, I'm 75, 7.5, hit a little 77, hit a little 5, now 7.5 now, heat, hit a little $8,000, now 2.5, 82.5, hit a little $8,000 now, 2.5, and now 9, hit a little 82.5, 5, hit a little 85, 85, hit a little 80. To the high now, 5 to the bid. You look good on him, brother. Hit it at 80 to the high 5. 85, hit it at 80 to the high now, 5. So that young man rides him everywhere. And what that young man's told you, it'll be that way. 82.5, 5, hit it at 85, 7.5, hit it at 87.5. I'm 85, 7.5, hit it at 80 now, 9, hit it now 2.5, hit it at 92.5. Hit 9 down now 2.5, and now 5, hit it at 95, hit it at 91, 2, 92, Gordy, I'm about 91 now, 2 to the bit of the 91 now, 2 to the bit, I'm about 2. Hit 91, 2, hit it at 2 to the bit of the 91 now, 2 to the bit of the about 1 to the bit now, 2 to the bit of the 92. Hit 91 now, 2 to the bit, I'm about 91 now, 2 to the bit now, 3, I'm about 93, I'm about 2 to the bit now, 3. I'm 93, hit a little bit, 2 to the bit now, 3 to the bit, I'm about 92 now, 3 to the bit, I'm about 2 to the bit now, 3 to the bit. Hit 92, 3, 3 to the bit, I'm about 92 now, 3 to the bit now, 4, I'm about 94, I'm about 4 to the bit. I'm 94, 5, hit a little bit, 95, hit a little bit, 94 now, 5 to the bit, I'm about 94 now, 5 to the bit, I'm about 5. Hit 95 here, hit a little bit, 4 to the bit now, 5 to the bit, I'm about 94 now, 5 to the bit. I have sold him 9,400, pretty much. 406. Thank you, buddy. Nice horse.
Go to 3, pin number 3.
Hit number 34. Come with that thoroughbred horse a while ago. 8, 900, hit a little bit, 900, even down, 9, a bit, a little even down, 9, I'm gone, hit a little even down, 9, a bit, a little even down, 9, hit 50, 9, hit a little bit, 9, a bit, a little even down, 9, a bit, a little even down, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, I'm at about even down, 9, a bit, I'm at about 9, hit 50, now 9, hit a little bit, 9, a bit, a little even down, 9, a bit, a little even down, I'm gonna half, and a little, 75 now, 9 now, quarter now, half, and now 75, hit a little bit, 9, 75, hit 9. $9.75 now, $1,000, hit it $1,000, $75 now, $1,000, minimum $1,000, minimum $975,000, hit $1,000, hit it $75 now, $1,000, hit it $975 now, $1,000, $1,000 here, hit $1,000, hit it minimum $1,000, minimum $75 now, $1,000, hit it $975 now, $1,000, so be $975, put him on number 446 on one. Here, Extra Indianapolis, the Horse Club guys sold at 4.9 in 2015. Now the Shadows Forever Nugget out of Nugget Super Shadow, out of a Pretentious Toddy, out of He's Pretentious. He has Mighty Bright in him too, guys. Appaloosa Horse Club paper.
He's done shows. He's just been out in the pasture for last year, and we haven't had like 2 rides on for the last 2 days.
He Western Pleasure Trail broke, guys. Said he just been standing out in the pasture for the last year, and he's had 2 rides in the last year.
She won the second in the show when she took him.
She won second in show when she did take him. 2,500, 27.5. Hit 2,500 now, 7.5. 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 Hit 2,500 now, 6. Hit 26. I'm 25 now, 6. They're pretty now gone. 2,500 now, 600 now, 600. I'm 25 now. There's a real one there. 25 now, 6. Hit 26 here. I'm going to bump out of the bed now, 6. 25 and now, 2015 model 26.
I don't know if you can tell, but this ring is not very big, and that is a big horse, and he will lope in here.
This lady lives right over here at Great Bend, guys. But like Shady just told the internet, that's a big long body horse, and for him to short lope in this ring, there's a nice horse. 2,500, 2,600. Do you say it? 26 now, 7. 27 now, heat. 28 now, 9. Now 3. 3 now, 1. Now 2. 32 now, 3. Now 4. Hit 34. 33 now, 4. 33, 4, hit it at 34, hit it at 3, a bit now, fold it a bit down, but about 33 now, fold it a bit, a half, now 5, and now 6, and now 7, and 4th down, 41. Hit 41, hit it at 4, and now 1, and a bit at 4, and now 1, and a bit at 41, and a bit at 4, and now 1, and a bit a. So we 4,301. Thank you, ma'am. Nice horse. He got 2014 model Bay Meyer. She's out of Irish Pay, out of Patty Shower Whiskey, out of Pecky Sam Badger, and out of Frosty Little Francie, out of Frosty Feature, out of Truckles Feature. Out of an old son of Patty Irish Whiskey. Super gentle mare, been sound, been ranched on. Super soft in the face. 2014 model, Sullivan Meyer, right there. Papers in hand. 12 and a half, 1,500. Hit 12 and a half, 1,500. 12 and a half, 1,500. Hit 1,500 now, 7. 12 and a half, 1,500. We're gone. 12 and a half, 1,500. 13 and a half. 12 and a half, now 13 and a half. And now 14 and a half. 14 and a half. 15 and a half. 15 and a half. 14 and a half. 15 and a half. And now 17 and a half. 18 and a half. 19 and a half. Now 2,000 and a half. 19 and a half. 2,000 and a half. Hit 2,000 and a half. 19 and a half. Now 2,000 and a half. 2,000 and a half. I'm 19 and a half. 2,000 and a half. 2,000 and a half. 19 and a half. Now now 2,500. Hit 2,500. Now 1.5. 21.5. Young man 21.5. Hit 20 now 2.5. 22.5. You can do it. Hit it now 3.5. 23.5. 2.5 now 3.5. Hit 23.5. 2.5 now 3.5. 2.5 now 3.5. 22.5 now 3.5. Hit 23.5. 3.5 now 3.5. Hey, half. Going back in 23.5. Hey, half. Sold her 22.50. Put her on 4.38. He hit number 37. The 15-year-old sorrel Molly Mule, draft mule. She's been at the Amish working her whole life. Has lots of get up and go trots like a standard bred. Great in the buggy or all farm machinery, single or double. Stands perfect to harness and hitch. Only been trimmed in the stocks, which is an issue. Had I known this, I would not have bought her. 12.5, 1,500. Hit 12.5, 1,500. Hit 12.5, 13.5. 12.5, 13.5, 13.5, 14.5, 15.5, 16.5, 17.5, here now, 18.5, 18.5, 18.5. Come on, Mule King, hit 18.5, hit 17.5, 18.5, now 19.5, now 2,000.5, 2,000.5, hit 2,000.5, 2,000.5, here now 1.5, 21.5, now 2.5, 22.5, internet, 2.5, 3.5, 23.5, hit 22.
She was sitting up here. She said this mule works the very best.
So this mule works the very best.
Just to have somebody shoot her.
You just got to put her in the stocks. 22.5, 3.5, 23.5, 2.5, now 3.5, but the guy got in and ain't scared. 2.5, now 3. He's put 1 or 2 in the stocks himself. 2.5, 3.5, 22.5, now 3.5. I have 22.5 burger.
10,020.
Probably ought to put him in the stocks.
Huh?
We probably ought to put him in the stocks.
Dylan, you got him if you weren't aware.
He probably wasn't.
38's the one to get.
He'll be 14 years old.
Be 14 years old.
I sold this horse to a lady up there, one of my neighbors, 3 years ago. She's a little bit short gal, and she rode this horse. They run about 500 head of cows, and they work cattle on him and everything, but she come here a while back and she said, I'd like to get a shorter horse, easier to get on. And down here at Sailback, I bought one off Ernie, one of the best little horses you ever rode. And she bought him and traded this horse in. He's a nice horse, he's easy to catch, and he's sound.
So this horse will be a good horse. He's easy to catch. He's sound. He's 14 years old. And you do not have to be a rocket scientist to get along here, guys. Anybody can get up there and hold them reins and get along with him. 22.5, 5. Hit 25, 25, 25, 25, now 5, 25, I'm 25, now 5, now 5, 7 half. Hit 20, 5, 22, I got him, now 5. Hit 22, 5, 5, now 5, 25, now 5. I'm 22, now 5, 3.5, 4.5. I'm 24.5. You're out down here. 24.5 now. 5.5. 5.5. 4.5 now. 5.5. I'm 25.5. 4.5 now. 5.5.
Becky's only about 4'10". She's a little bit short gal. That's the reason she couldn't get on him. That's the reason.
Said the lady that owned the horses only stood about 4'10".
Her daughter rode the horse and everything, and she gets a little short gal. And she said, he said, Dad, come big, I tell her, she go on the fence and get on him. But she said, if you can find me a smaller horse, and 30 had one. Good little
24.5, and now 5.5, and 25.5. You're all out. Got a new man. 24.5, 5.5, and now 6.5, and now 7.5, and 27.5, now 8.5, and 8.5, and 7.5, now 8.5, and 28.5. Hit 28.5, and come on, soccer moms, and 8.5. I'm 7.5, now 8.5, and 28.5, and 7.5, now 8.5, and 7.5, now 8.5. I have 27.50, 438.
Number 8.
Hit number 39 B Smokes, a big nice gelding that most anybody will get along with. He will be great on the trails, no matter what the terrain you're on. He's pony coach on the track and will be traffic safe. You can take him to town. Smoke stands 15 one-hand stalls, 13 years old. Good all-around horse. 17.5, $2,000. It's 17.5, two. Hit it, $2,000. Hit it, 17.5 now. $2,000. Hit it, 17.5, 18.5. I'm 18.5. Hit it, 18.5. Hit it, 17.5 now. 18.5. Hit it, 18.5. I'm 17.5, 18.5. Hit it, 18.5. Hit it, 17.5 now. 18.5. Hit it, 18.5. Hit it, 17.5 now. 18.5. I'm 18.5. Hit it, 17.5 now. 18.5. Hit it, 18.5. Hit it, 18.5. 18.5. Hit it, 17.5. 1,800, hit it at 1,800 here. Yep, 17.5, 1,800, hit it at 1,800, 17.5 now, 1,800 now, half, $1,800 now, half, hit it at $1,800 now, half, hit it at 1,800 now, 19, 19, hit it at 1,800, 19, hit it at 1,900, hit it at 19, hit it at 1,900, 18.5, 1,900, hit it at 1,900, hit it at 18.5 now, 1,900, hit it at $1,900 here, I have. Sold him 18.50. Put him on number 454. I want to show you a pretty mare right here. Hip number 40, guys. This is Twyla. She's 8-year-old mare. Really nice ranch mare. She has been used and hauled to the play days. Knows the barrel pattern well. She is sound, stands 14.2. She come right with that bay when
She made Charlie run barrels on her. And she's a good one.
Bobby said she's got a video of Charlie running the barrels on her and said this mare sure enough be a real one.
It was funny. She did it good, yeah.
Said she does it automatic, guys. Come on, I want about 7,500 for her. 28.5, 3,000. Hit 28.5 now, 3. Hit it at 3,000. I'm gone. Hit it at 8.5, 9.5, 3,000. Hit it at 3,000. Now 1.5. Hit it at 1.5. And now 2.5. Joni, you're out now. 3.5. Hit it at 30. 3.5. Hit it at 2.5. Now 3.5. And now 4.5. Joni, I'm about 30. 4.5 now 5.5. Hit 35.5. Hit it at 4.5 now 5.5. Hit it now 6.5. Hit it at 30 now 7.5. Hit it at 37.5. 8.5. 9.5. Hit 39.5. 4,000. Hit it at 4,000. 4,000, hit it at 39.5, 4,000, hit 4,000, hit it at 39.5, 4,000, hit it at 4,000, hit 4,000. 39.5 for that. There's a pretty mare. 39.5, 4,000, hit 4,000, now 1.5, hit it now 2.5, hit it at 42.5. You're out over here. 42.5, 3.5, hit 43.5, hit it at 2.5, now 3.5, 4.5, 44.5, hit 44.5, hit it at 4.5, hit it at 43.5, now 4.5, hit it at 5.5, hit it at 45.5, hit 45.5, 6.5, hit it at 46.5, hit 46.5, hit it at is that yes, hit it at 6.5, hit 46.5. 45.5, 6.5, hit it at 46.5, hit 46.5, hit it at 45.5, 6.5, hit it at 46.5, hit 45.5, 6.5, hit it at 46.5, hit it at 5.5, 6.5, I have now 7.5, 47.5, hit it at 6.5, now 7.5, hit it at 46.5, now 7.5, hit it at. She didn't get them saddle goals by standing around. 46.5, 7.5, hit it at 46.5, now 7.5, hit it at 47.5, I have. Sold her 46.50, 426. $41's one to get, guys. Ed is a smooth mouse crossbred gelding and is being used as a camp horse. Been ridden on the trails and ridden extensively by the beginners. He is missing his passenger side eye. but a good, gentle, safe gelding. Come on. 6.5, 7.5. 6.5, now 7.5, bit of it is, 7.5, bit of it is, 6.5, now 7.5, bit of it is, 7.5. And now go, bit of it is, 6.5, now 7.5, bit of it is, 7.5, bit of it is, 6.5, now 7.5, bit of it is, 7.5. It's 7.5, bit of it is, 6.5, 7, bit of it is, 7.5, but I'm thinking I now 7. I'm over here, bit of it is, 6.5, now 7, now half, and now 8, bit of it is, now half, and now 9, bit of it is, 9, 8, 9, I'm about 9, bit of it is, 9, 9, I'm about 9. 8, 15, 9, I'm at about 9, a bit of the bit down 9, a bit of the bit down 9, a bit, I'm at about 9, a bit 8. So we 850 pretty much. 4, 4, 6 on 1. 43 is one to get guys right here. Come with that big thoroughbred horse a while ago, guys. 7.5, 8.5. Yeah, ain't going. 8.5, 8.5, now 9, I'm about 9, a bit of 9, 9, half, now 10, now half, 10, 10.5, now 11, now half, I'm about 11, now half, 11, half, I'm about 11, now half, 11, half, 11, now half, I'm about 11, half, even about 11, half, and now 12, 12, I'm about 12, Randy Boy, I'm about 12, hit 12, hit 12, I'm about 12, I'm about 11, high now 12, I'm about 12. Little horse ain't costing very much. 11, high now 12, I'm about 11, high now 12, I'm about 11, high now 12, a half. So we 11, 50, 4, 48, 6, 4, 4, 6 on 1. $47. Oh, wait a minute. 47. Cody is an 8-year-old Palomino gelding that was broke as a 2-year-old, guys. Sent to the pasture. He has been ridden and taken to see the miles for the last 60 days and is ready to be given a job with an exceptional build and cover. Big, strong gelding, guys. Guaranteed sound. He both a big yellow horse there. 27 hand, $3,000. Hit 27 hand now, 3. Hit it, 3,000. 27 hand now, $3,000. Hit it, 7 hand now, 3,000. I'm 27 hand, 8 hand. Hit it, 28 hand. Hit it, 7 hand now, 8 hand. Hit it, 28 hand. Hit 7 hand, 8 hand. Hit it, 28 hand. Hit it, 7 hand now, 8 hand. Hit it, 28 hand. I'm 27 hand, 8 hand. Hit it, 28 hand, 9 hand. Hit it, 8 hand now, 9 hand. I'm 28 hand now, 9 hand. Hit it, 8 hand now. 9.5, bit of the 9.5, bit of the 9.5. I'm 28 and hang on 9.5, bit of the 9.5, bit of the 9.5, bit of the 9.5, bit of the 29.5. I'm 28 and hang out 3,000, bit of the 3,000, bit of the number now 1.5, bit of the 1.5, bit of 31.5, bit of the 3,000, 1.5, now 2.5, bit of the 32.5, and now 3.5, bit of the 32.5, now 3.5, bit of the 3.5, now 3.5, bit of the 3.5, now 3.5, bit of the 3.5, now 3.5. Now 4.5, bit of it now 5.5, bit of it 35.5, hit 34.5, now 5.5, bit of it 4.5, now 5.5, bit of it 4.5, now 5.5, now 6.5, hit 36.5, 7.5, bit of it 37.5, bit of it 6.5, now 7.5, hit 37.5, bit of it 6.5, now 7.5, here now 8.5, bit of it 38.5, bit of it 9.5, hit 39.5, bit of it 8.5, now 9.5, bit of it 8.5, 9.5. So we 38, 50, 301, 38 and a half. 38 and a half. Yep, number 44. Said he's smooth mouth guy, been a trail horse his whole life and hadn't been rode in a while. $1,000, 12 and a half. $8,000 now, 12 and a half. $8,000 now, 12 and a half. $8,000 now, 11. $11 on here. $8,000 now, 11. I'm gone. $1,000 now, 1100. $8,000 now, 1100. $1,000 now, half. $8,000 now, half. $8,000, 1100. $8,000 now, half. $8,000 now, 12 and a half. $8,000 now, 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 half. Sold him $1,000. Put him on 600 or 500. 500. Got him 500. He's on hit 46. Bay Draft Cross Murr, 10 years old, guys. Stands 15.3, weighs 1,300. This Murr has been a go-to for the family. She is an excellent trail mount and even better ranch horse. Has Dr. Tons of Wheat pasture cattle, guys. Pretty nice, kind of a big draft cross Murr right here. There's the internet on the video, guys. Said you can drag the kids on the sled, or you can go to the pasture and drag you a big one. 2,500, 27 and a half. Hit 2,500 now, 7 and a half. 2,500 now, 7 and a half. 27 and a half. 500 now, 7 and a half. I'm 25, 7 and a half. 500 now, 7 and a half. 2,500 now, 600. Hit 2,600. 500 now, 600. 500 now, 600. 25 now, 6. I'm 25, 6. 500 now, 600. 25 now, 600. Hit now, 7. 27. I'm about 600 now, 700. I'm 27. I'm 27. I'm 2,700. So they picked up on her on summer, guys. So she'll go all day. 2,600, 700, 700 now, 700, but about 600 now, 700. 2,600 now, 700, 600 now, 700, but about 2,700, 600 now, 700, half and now 7. Now half, now 8, now half, now 9, 29 now, half, 9 and a half. I'm 29 and a half, 9 and a half. Sold her 2,900. We're about halfway there. It takes 7,500.
Put him into
45. He'll be 15 years old.
Be 15 years young.
He's probably had more cattle roped off of him in a year and logged in our lifetime.
Said he's probably had more cattle roped off of him in a year than most of them's had in a lifetime. Come off 1,000 head cow camp up there where they live at, guys. So you might take a little maintenance if you pound him hard, guys. There's a nice broke old dad. Cody said if you want the papers, he can get them for you. $1,000, 12 and a half. $8,000 now, 12 and a half. $8,000 now, 12 and a half. 1,100. I'm going. $1,000 now, 1,100. $8,000 now, 1,100. $8,000 now, 1,100. And $10, 1,100. $8,000 now, 1,100. $1100 here. $8,000, 1,100. $1100 now, 1,100. $8,000 now, half. I'm $1,000 now, 1,100. $8,000 now, 1,100 here. I have sold him $1,000. Put him on 417.
Brayden, you're going to move. 42, here's your note, Ed.
113, 113.
Owner could not make it. Been used as a ranch horse.
Been used as a
turned
ranch
out for the few months.
They've been used as a ranch horse, guys. He's been turned out for the last few months. Pictures were in the catalog. $1,000, 1,100. It's $1,100, 1,100, but about $1,000 now, 1,100, $1,000 now, half high. It's now 12, 1,100 now, 12 to be about 1,100 now, 1,100 now, 12 to be. I got mine down. 1,100 now, 12. And no, 1,100 now, 12 to be number 1,100 now, 12 to be number 12. 11 now, 12, 13, 1,300 now, 1,400. Hit 1,400 internet, hit 1,400 big crossbred horse now, 1,500. Hit 1,500, hit 1,500, 1,400 now, 1,500, 1,400 now, 1,500. 1,400, 1,500, hit 1,500, 1,400 now, 1,600, hit 1,600, hit 1,600 now, 1,700, 1,700, 1,600 now, 1,700, hit now 1,800, hit 1,800 internet, hit now 1,900, 1,900, 1,819, hit 1,900, 1,800 now 19 now 2 internet, hit 2,000, hit 19 now 2, hit 1,900 now 2, $10 hit 1,900 now 2, hit $2,000. Hit $19 now, $2,000 hit $19 now, $2 now 1, hit 21, hit $2,000 now 1,
Internet, just so you know, this horse is not gentle.
$2,000 now 1, $2,000 now 1. Sold him on the internet, 2,000.
Danielle, you got him, 10,003.
Well, I thought Dad made that pretty clear.
Well.
When he started.
Hit 48.
He's an 8-year-old horse.
Be an 8-year-old horse.
He's been ranched on, and they've run hogs on him down in Oklahoma. He hadn't been rode for a while, but the horse approached pretty good, and he'll be sound.
So he'll be a ranch horse guy. Said they've hunted hogs on him in Oklahoma. Said this is the first time he's been rode in quite a little while. 2,000, 22 and a half. Hit 2,000 now, 2 and a half. 2,000 now, gone. 2,000 now, 2 and a half. 2,000 now, 2 and a half. I'm 2,000 now, 2 and a half. 21. 2,000 now, 1. 2,000 now, 1. Hit 21. 2,000 now, 1. 21. Hit 21.
I think just give him a job for a little bit. He'd be a nice horse.
Gordon said, you just get him back into it, guys, and that would be a hell of a nice horse. $2,000 now, what? Hit 21, hit $2,000 now, 1, hit 21, hit $2,000 a half. So the 2,600 on 1.
204.
Outfit. And then she's her little big doe eyes, so she's so cute.
This will be Diesel. 15-year-old Gillen has been a great ranch horse. He is well broke, and anyone can ride him. He is ready to teach a young rider what he has to offer on a ranch or down the trails. 1,100, 1,200, 1,100 now, 1,200 now, 1,100 now, 1,200 now, 12 now, 13, 13, 12 now, 13, 1,300. I'm 1,200 now, 1,300, 13, 12 now, 1,300, 13, 12 now, 1,300, 12 now, 1,300. It's 1,200 now, 1,300, 13, 12 now, half, 12 now, 12 and a half. It's now 13, now half, 13 and a half. Now 14, now half, 14 and a half, 14 and a half, and now 15, now half, 18 now half, and 1,500 now half, 15 now half, and now 16, 16 now 1,600, now 1,600, 1,600, 15 and a half, 1,600, 16 now half, 16 and a half, it's 1,600 now half, 1,600 now half, young man, I'm at about $16.5. I'm $1,600 half here. Don't look like you're taking a very big chance there. $1,600 now half. I'm $1,600 now half. $1,600 now half. $1,600 now half. 16.5. It's only 1,600. 465. Yep, number 51. Festus is a smooth mouth mule, and if you can do it a horseback, you can do it off Festus. They've coon hunted, they've hog hunted, they trail ride. He's been in the mountains. You look at them saddle stamps on his back. He didn't get them from standing around. And shot all the way around, and he's gentle. You can ride him bareback. 500, 600, 500 now, 600 here, I'm gone, 600, even now, 700, 600 now, 700 here now, 800, 700 now, 800, 700 now, how about a half, 700 now, half, oh, come on, 700 now, half, 700 now, half, 700 now, half, I'm 700 now, half, 700. Except from the littlest to the oldest can get along with Festus. 700, 7.5. It's 700 now. Half it. 700 now. Half it. 700. 7 half it. 700 now. 7 half it. 700. 7 half. So 700. Pretty on. 446. Straight away. 446. Straight away.
I'll pay you after we're done. No, that's fine.
Hey, sweetie, can you bring me that?
Thank you. Sorry.
Emo hit number
49.
49. This is Boogie. He's a 14-year-old Paladin of Gillen and has been on the same farm doing whatever needed to be done his whole life. Sold the cow, so there's no need for Boogie. He's 15 one hands tall. 600, 700, 600 now, 700 now, but I'm taking it now, 700, I'm going, 600 now, 700 half, 700 now, 700 now, but I'm Randy Boy, but I'm 700 now, but I'm 700. I'm taking the high 700, 700 now, but I'm taking the high now, 700 now, but I'm 700 now, half, 775 now, 7. I'm 675 now, 700 now, but I'm 75 now, 7. I'm 675, 700, 700, but I'm 75 now, 700. I have 675, pretty much 600. Straight away.
I don't know why they sold the cow.
Yep, 53's on to get.
Wife bought him as a barrel prospect. Found out she's pregnant, so we had to mess with his body. He had 30 days on him when we got him.
Said his wife bought this horse as a barrel prospect, and lo and behold, she found out a story. She's going to have a little one, so she ain't got time to ride him. He's a 2019 model, guys. He's out of Dash Green Streak, out of Streakin' La Jolla, out of Streakin' 6, and out of a Dash and Hot, out of Dash Through Traffic, out of First Down Dash. Down the backside of his papers is Streakin' 6 Dash for Cash, First Down Dash, and Streakin' 6 Royal Red. $1,000, 1,100. $1,000 now, 1,100. I'm going. Now 12. Going. But I'm 12. Now 13. 13. Now 1,300. I'm doing it a bit. 1,300. 12. Now 13. 12. Now 13. 1,300. I'm 12 it now 1,400. Now 1,500. 1,500. But I'm 1,500. 1,500. 1,400 now 1,500. I'm 1,400 now 1,500. 14 now 16 half and now 16 1,500 15 and a half 1,600 internet 1,600 it's 1,600 here I have it's only 1554 66.
brought you an extra sweet Mo just in case.
She was saying you ain't sweet enough.
Been told that before. 17 or 18-year-old gelding. So there's been an 80-year-old woman riding gas said she can't ride no more. $1,000, 12 and a half. $8,000 now, 12 and a half. $8,000 now, 12 and a half. $8,000 now, 1,100. $1100 here. $1,000 now, 1,100. $11,000 now, 1100 now, half high. $1,000, 1,100. $11,000 now, 1100. I'm going. $8,000 now, half high. $8,000, 1,100. $8,000 now, half. $10 and a half. $10 now, 10 and a half. I'm 10 and a half. $10 now, 10 and a half. $10 now, 10 and a half. $10 now, half. $1,000, half. It's only $1,000. Put it on. AW. 303.
It smells good.
What's your tag number? 55 is the one to get. Minnie Jenny, right here. Gonna have you a baby come summer, guys. 800, 900. 800 down, 900 800 down, 900 down, 800 down, 900 down, 800 down, I'm $800 now, half. Where's Randy Ray go? 800 now, half. 800 now, got him. 800 now, half. 800 now, 800 now, 900 now, half. 900 half. And now 10. 10. I'm Jonah's Way, 950, 10. Dean, you want back in? 950 now, 10. Dean's out, 950 now, 10. 10, you want back in? Dean, 950 now, 10. Now, half, 10 and a half. 10 and a half. And now 11, 11 and a half, 10 and a half, now 1100, 10 and a half, now half. I'm 10 and a half, 11. I'm about 11 now, half. 11 and a half. 1100 now, half. Now 12, 12 and a bit, 11 half, now 12 and a bit, 12. 11 half, 12, and now half. 12 and a half here. Hit. Half 13, 1300, 12 and a half, 1300. Hit 1300, 1300. You're out of there, young man. 1300 now, half. 13 and a half. Hit 1400 now, half. 14 and a half, 15. 1500. Hit 1500, 14 and a half, 1500 now, half. 15 and a half. Hit 15, 15 and a half. 15 now, half. 15 now, half. Now 16, hit it 1600, hit 1600, yeah, AT&T 1600, hit 1600, now 1600, I have. Six, now half, he said the same thing about you. Come on, 16 and a half. $1,600 now, half, $1,600 now, half, here I have. So me 1,600, put him on number.
Who?
431, is that right? 431. 8 or 9 years old. Been a trail horse, be safe and gentle for anybody. $1,000, 12 and a half. $8,000 now, 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 12 and a half. $1,100. $8,000 now, 1100. $1,000 now, 1100. $8,000 now, 1100. $8,000 now, 1100. $8,000 now, 1100. $8,000 now, 1100. $1,000 now, 1100. $8,000 now, half. $8,000 out and a half. $8,000 now. 8 or 9 years old, $1,000, 1100, 1100, 1100, $1,000 now, 1100, $1,000 now, half high, 1100 now, 12, now 13, 13, 12, and now 1300, young man, 1300, 1300, now 1400, 14, 13, now 14, 1400, 1400, 13, now 14, 13, now 1400, 14, 13, now $1,400, $1,400 I have. 1,300 on the hill. Is that 431? Is that right? 431.
My hands up.
111.
15 years young. Said the kids at play date be a good trail horse. Said bumped her left eye in the trailer, guys. It's a little watery, but it ain't hurt. Gilded. $1,000 at 1,100. Hit it at $1,000 now. Half and now 12. Yeah, young man, 1,200. Hit it at 11. Hand now 12. Hit 12. Hit it at 11. Hand now 12. I'm 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 11. Hand now 12. Hit 12. Hit it at 12. I'm 11. Hand now 12. I have. Sold him 11.50. Put him on 4 what? 446 on 1.
6.
Still 64 there, little barn, riding on big gelding. 700, 7.5. Hit 700 now, half it of the days. I'm going 700 now, half it of the days. 700 now, half it of the days. 700 now, half now, 8 now, half it of the days, half it of the days. Now, half. 800 now, half it of the days. Now, 8 half it of the days. Now, half it of the days. 800 now, half it of the days. Now, 8 half it of the days. Now, half it of the days. 8 half it along the ball. 8 of the days. Half it of the days. Now, half here, I have. So we made 800 on 600 on 2. So 56 is one to get.
She's smooth out there. She come off the farm. She was a family horse up there, and the girl's off to college, and nobody home to ride her.
Said she's been a family mare, guys. She's a teenage mare. Said the girl went to college and there ain't nobody there to ride her. That's why she's here.
Catch her where you find her.
Said you'll catch her where you'll find her. 12.5, 1,500. Hit 12.5, 1,500. There's a good square made mare. 12.5, 1,500. Hit 1,500. Hit 12.5. 1,500. 12.5, 1,500. 12.5, 13.5. Hit 13.5. 12.5. No, 13.5. 12.5. 13.5. 13.5. I'm 13.5. 12.5. No, 13.5. I'm gone. 12.5. 13.5. Hit 13.5. 13.5. 12.5, 13.5. Said you're going to like her every day you own her. Hit 13.5. Hit 13.5, young man. 13, 14, 14, 1400. You're out. 14 now, half. 15, 1,500. Hit 15 now, half. Now 16. You're out again. Jonah, but about 1,600. Hit 15.5, 1,600 now, half. Did you? I'm about 1,500 now, 17. Hit 17. 17. Now 1,700. 1,700. Hit 1,700. Now half. 1,700 now, half here now, 18, 1,800. It's 17.5, 18, 1,18, 1,18, 18 now, half now, 19, Johnny out again, 1,900. Hit 1,900, 18.5 now, 1,900, 1,900. Hit 1,900, 18.5 now, 1,900. She looks like your kind now, half, 19.5. Hit 1,900 now, half, 1,900 now, half, 19.5. 1,900, 19.5, 1,900 now, half here I have. So they're 1,900 for 17.
Thank you, Cody. 113.
Yep, 66. Coming out of that black horse a while ago. 700, 800, 700 now, 8, 700 now, 8, 700 now, 8. I'm 700, 800, 700 now, half, 700 now, half, 7 half, we're gone, 700 now, half. It's 700 now, half, 700 now, half, 700 now, half. I'm 700, 7 half, 700 now, half, it's 700 now, half, 7 half, 700, 600 on 2. Yep, number 52.
208. 208.
Ten-year-old green rose mare been saddled.
10-year-old green broke mare been saddled.
Been rode a couple times.
Been rode a handful of times. 500, 5 and a half. It's 500, 5 and a half. 5 and a half, 5 and a half. 5 and a half, we're going. 5 and a half, 5 and a half. I'm 550. 5 and a half. 5 and a half. 5 and a half. I'm 5 and a half. 5 and a half. 5 and a half. 5 and a half. 550. 500. Put it on 600 straight away. 68's the one to get.
So Casey, he's 3-year-old.
He's 3 years old.
I just caught him up at noon. He's fresh as a daisy.
Said he caught him out of the pasture at noon. He'll be as fresh as a daisy.
I spent $1,900 on him this summer.
Said he paid a man $1,900 this summer.
We still got a little buck in him.
Said he's still be a little fresh on a cool morning.
I got a bad knee. I can't even get on him.
Said he's got a bad knee. Can't even get on him.
So if you're a hand, he's a good prospect. I don't know if he'll buck if you flank him or he might quit.
1,100, 1,200. I'm 1,100 now, 1,200 now, but I'm 1,100 now, 1,200 now, but I'm 1,100 now, 1,200 now, but I'm 1,100 now, half. 1,100 now, half. 1,100 now, half. 1,100 but I'm 1,100 half. 1,100 but I'm 1,100 now, half. 1,100 half. I'm 1,100 now, half. 1,100 half. You want to try him, sir? 1,100 now, half. 1,100 now, half. 1,100 half. Said he'll make you some money. 1,100 now, half. But I'm 1,100 half. But I'm 1,100 half here. Hey, half now 12, and now half. And now 13, and now half. And now 14, and 1400. 13 and a half, 14, 14, 13 and a half now, 14, 13 and a half now, 1400. It's only 13 and a half. Put him on number 405. 405 is your buyer. Said she'll be an older sorrel mare. Come right off the place she's been her whole life, guys. Be gentle. 8 and a half, 9 and a half, 8 and a half, 9 and a half, we're gone. 8 and a half, 9, 9 and a bit, 9 and a bit, 9 and a bit, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 850 now, 9. You went in out there, 850 now, 9 and a bit, 9 and a bit, 9 and a bit, 9 and a bit, 9. I'm 850, 9 and a bit, 9 and a bit. Smooth mouth mare, 850 now, 9. Now 9, 9 and a bit, 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 9. So we're 850, and that's 446 on 1.
Hey, Ed, I videoed this horse this morning right before the rain came in, and the wind was blowing 60 mile an hour, and Jonah loped him around in the parking lot.
So they took a video of this horse out there this morning when the wind was blowing 60 mile an hour and it was raining. Said that they loped that horse all over. 11 years old. Then they gilded. He said he's seen everything you could put in front of one.
Horse come out of the sand hills.
Come out of the sand hills up there and be sound.
Come on.
17.5, $2,000. There's a pretty plain horse. 17.5, 17.5, $2,000. It's 17.5, 18.5, 18.5, 18.5 here now, 19.5, 2,000, 19.5, 2,000. One hand broke. 2,000, 19.5, 2,000. It's 2,000, 19.5, 2,000, it's 2,000, now 2,000, now 1.5, now 2.5, now 3.5, now 4.5, 24.5, 3.5, now 4.5, it's 24.5, 3.5, now 4.5, 3.5, now 4.5, 4.5, hey, it's only 23.50, pretty much 301. Horse has had 60 days on him. He's a 2022 model, guys. He's out of a smooth little man, out of a smooth guy, out of Frenchman's guy, and out of a Miss Hot Wheels, out of Wheeling Hickory, out of Wheeling Pepe. 22 model.
60 days riding. You got 2,000 in the man.
2,000, 22.5. We hit 2,000 now, 2.5, 2,000 now, 2.5, 2,000 now, 2.5, 21, 2,000 now, 1. I'm 2,000 now, 1, 2,000 now, 1, 2,000 now, 1, 2,000 now, 1. It's 21, 2,000 now, 1, 2,000 now, 1, 2,000 now, 2, 22. It's 21 now, 2, now 2, 21 now, 2, now 2. It's 22, now 2, now 2, now 2, now 22, sold him 2,100, put him on forward.
This gray horse came out there north of Hayes with that bay horse.
He come out here north of Hayes with that bay horse that was in here a while ago, guys.
Man said his grandkids wouldn't ride him. They used to ranch on him, be a good pony.
$1,000, 1,100. I'm going. Hit $1,100. Half now, half, and now 12, now half, and now 13, now half, 13, now half, 13 and a half, and $1,300 now half, 13 now half, 13 now half, and now 14, 14 now half, and now 15, 1,500, 1,500, and now half, and now 16, 16, 1,600, it's 1,600, now 15 and a half, 1,600, it's only 15.50, 438. 62's the one to get. Be a smooth mouth mare.
Small ranch out there south of Hayes. We went out there to pasture, and he walked up to her, put his hand on her neck. He walked her up to the trailer, opened the door, and he said, "Get in." And the mare is broke. She's been showed.
She's been showed.
You could put any little kid
He said you could put absolutely any little kid on her.
She is foolproof.
She said she could be bomb proof. $1,000 and sound. $1,000, 1,100. $1,000 now, 1,100 here. $1,000 now, 1,100 now, minimum $1,000 now, $1,000 minimum $1,000 now, $1,000. $1,000, 1,100. $1,000 minimum $1,000 now, 1,100 minimum $1,000 now, $1,000. I'm $1,000, 1,100. I'm gone. $1,000 now, $1,000. $1,000 now, 1,100 minimum $1,000 now. The kind most people need and don't have. $1,000, 1,100, 1,100, now 12. Now 12, now 12, it'll be a minimum 11 and a half, now 12, 11 high 12, 11 high 12, now 12, it'll be a minimum 11 high, now 12, it'll be a minimum 12, 11, 15, now 12, it'll be a 12, it'll be a minimum 11, now 12, it'll be a minimum 11, now 12, 11, 15, now 12, 12, it'll be a minimum 12, it'll be 11, 15, 4, 4, 6, on 1.
Thanks, Cody. Now, Cody, number 69.
9. He hit number 69. You talk about a cute little half horse. 3-year-old and a filly. Said she got a good start on her, guys. Said she gets better every day, guys. She's a wild colored winner. $1,000, 12 and a half. Hit $1,000 now, just 3 years old. $1,000 now, 12 and a half, now 1,500, now 17 and a half. Hit 17 and a half, now 17 and a half, now 17 and a half, 1,600. Hit 1,600, hit now 1,600, now 1,600, now 1,600. Hit 1,500, now 1,600, hit 1,600. There ain't nobody paying attention right there. You take her home and ride her for the next 30 to 45 days. Double, triple, or quadruple your money. 1,500, 1,600, hit now 1,700, hit now 1,700, and now 1,800, now 1,900, now $2,000 minimum 2, hit 19 now 2, hit $2,000 minimum, you're all out, I'm right down there, 1,900 now 2, hit 1,900, one more time, $2,000, hit 1,900 now, $2,000, hit $2,000, right, sold her 1,900 right over there. Thank you, Jonah.
That's kitten.
Hmm?
That's kitten.
463.
No.
463. He's rode him all day. He was here when we got here.
So that young man has rode this colt all day ever since they got here.
He's got an application.
He's got an application to the American Quarter Association. He pulled at 520 at 23.
He's 3 years old and he's got 3 of them and he's rode him all over this
He's
cell farm.
3 years old and they rode him everywhere. So they've used him 60 days in the yards. Temporary gin mare and a smart spook horse. Hey, boys, right him around right there.
Good little started young horse right there.
2,500, 27 and a half. Hit 25 now, 7 and a half. 20 now 3. I'm about 7 and now 3. $7 hit 7 and now 3. I'm 27 high 3. Hit 7 and now 3. $7 hit 7 and now 3. 8 and a half. Hit 28 and a half now 3,000 and a half. Hit 3,000 and a half. Hit 3,000 and a half. And now 1 and a half. And now 2 and a half. Hit 3 and a half. And now 4 and a half. And now 5 and a half. And now 6 and a half. Hit 7 and a half. And now 8 and a half. Hit 38 and a half. 7 and a half, now 8 and a half, hit 38 and a half, hit 7 and a half, now 8 and a half, hit 38 and a half, hit 7 and a half, now 8 and a half, hit 38 and a half, hit 7 and a half, 8 and a half. Said he's got a really good mind, guys. He said you can open and shut all the gates on him. 37 and a half, 8 and a half, hit 38 and a half, hit 7 and a half, now 8 and a half, now 9 and a half, hit 4,000 and a half, hit 1 and a half, hit 41 and a half, hit 4,000 and a half, 1 and a half.
That kid's got that colt riding good. He needs 200 pounds of the blanket on him, and you get real money for him. He rode him all day. I know he's green, and he needs fed, but he's gentle. He rode him all day out there all over. He's as good a prospect as we'd had here today.
4,000 and a half, 1 and a half, 41 and a half, 4,000 and a half, 1 and a half, Davey one back in, 41 and a half, and now 2 and a half, 42 and a half, now 3 and a half, 43 and a half, 2 and a half, now 3 and a half, hit 43 and a half, 3 and a half, 2 and a half, now 3 and a half, I have sold him 42 and a half, way up high, 431, 431. Here's your application.
Three.
They better get on that now.
71. She's a smooth mouth mare. She come off the ranch down there just a little ways from us. She's been on that place all her life.
She's come right off the place she's been on her whole life, guys. She'll be smooth mouth.
Well, 900.
$900,000. Hit $900,000. Hit $900,000. $900,000. Hit $900,000. Hit $900,000. Hit $900,000 here. Hit I'm gone. Hit $900,000. Hit $900,000. Hit $900,000. Hit $900,000. Hit $900,000. Hit half. Hit $900,000. Hit $900,000. I'm 9.5. Hit $9.5. Sold her 900, put her on cactus. 4 on 1, 4 on 1.
74.
He got the paperwork and all, guys. You done anything with your horse, ma'am?
She was his son's wild Mustang makeover for Hutchinson. He does everything with her, walks her,
Walk, trots, canter, guys. Said she'll be broke to ride, guys. Said you can pick up all of her feet.
Yes, you can pick up all of her feet. She's good prepared. She's on the hard side. I put a saddle on her. She did excellent. I just don't have time for her anymore.
She's really gentle.
Said she'll be really gentle. 500, 600, 100, 500 here. Hit 500, 600, 100, 500 here. If I'm gone, 100, 500 and now 6, and now half, and now 7, and now half, and now 8, and hit 7, half, 8, 7, now 8, internet's out, 7, half, 8, 800, I have 7, half, 8, I have. Sold her 750, pound 600 on 2. I drew them up myself for you.
Big one-eyed horse comes in thoroughbred.
We bought some of that other big thoroughbred horse a while ago, guys.
About 6
1.25, 6.5. Here's 6.25 now. Half. 6.25 now. Half.
Internet, this horse has one eye.
6.25 now. Half. I'm 6.25. 6.5. 6.25 now. Half. 6.25 now. Half. Half. 6.25 now. Half. 6.25 now. Half. I'm 6.25. 6.5. 6.25 now. Half. 6.25 now. 6.5. Half. 6.25. Put it on 600 straight away. This little horse coming right along with that buckskin horse. This young man's rode him around here all day long. He's 4 years old. They've used him in the yard. They pushed cattle on him. Said he'll be an athletic little horse, guy, and shot all the way around. 17.5, $2,000. It's 17.5 now, $2. Hit $2,000. Hit $17.5 now, $2,000. 17.5, $2. It's 17.5, $2. 18.5. Hit $18.5. Hit $17.5 now, 18.5. Hit $18.5. I'm 17.5, 18.5. Hit $18.5. Hit $17.5 now, 18.5. Hit $18.5. 18.5. Hit $18.5. Hit $17.5 now, 18.5. Hit $18.5. Hit $18.5. I'm 17.5, 18.5. Hit $17.5 now, 18.5. 18.5. 18.5. Now 19.5.
Money, that little horse, you ride him all winter and bring him back, make money. He ain't very high for 18.5.
He's like that other little laugh horse was in here just a minute ago. You take him home and ride him for the next 30 or 45 days, guys. That little horse will double or triple. He said he really wants to turn around outside, guys. 18.5, 19.5, short lope in the palm of your hand. 18.5, 19.5, 19.5, 18.5 now, 19.5. Your way, 18.5 now, 19.5, 19.5, 18.5 now, 19.5. I have sold him 18.50. 433, 433. He come right with them other thoroughbreds. 6 1/4, 6 1/2. Yeah, I'm going. You two fight it out. 6 1/4 now, half. Hit 2 1/4 now, half. 6 1/4 now, half. 6 1/4 now, half. 6 1/4 now, half. 6 1/2. 6 1/4 now, half. 6 1/4 now, half. And now 75. 6 75. 75. 75. It's 6 75. 75. You're both out over there. 6 75. I'm 6 75. 75. Now 7. It's 7 on 75. Now 7 on 75. Now 7 on 8. Out. So it's 675. Put him on 600 straight away. We're going to get some more riders up here. We're going to sell a few loose ones while we're waiting. 9 or 10-year-old mare guys. Raised some colts with her, exposed to a red roan stallion.
All right, Facebook, I'm going to shut you off since we're starting loose horses, but internet people, I'm still going to do the loose horses. So if you want to bid on a loose horse, it'll still be on.
500,